people that don't know about bodybuilding? Like, what's some of the methods that you would kind of tell them about? You know, because people, it seems like people don't really care about it. Like, you, I don't know how to put it. They just like if you tell somebody about like I remember I had a friend, right, and I was telling him that I make kind of content on women bodybuilding and stuff. I put like I would make videos and video slides and stuff, and so he was looking at it, and I think I mentioned Linda Murray, and he was like, who's that? And
no,
the average person
sport.
Yeah, the average person, they don't really know who that is or Andrea Shaw. So that's why I asked that question.
I mean, think about it. I don't know some top names in other sports. Like you're if you run in the circles of people that know the sport, they're gonna know. And it is what it is. However, okay, so let's use like Arnold as an example. Everyone knows Arnold Schwarzenegger. That is a household name. But why? Not necessarily for bodybuilding. Like yes, people know that, but like if you watch the documentary on him, or the docu-series on Netflix, it is just so interesting because each episode, I think it was 3 or 4 episodes, dives into a different aspect of his life. And bodybuilding is the undercurrent under everything, but it talks about his upbringing, when he got into movies and acting, when he got into politics, like everything else that he's done. He's a household name because people know him from multiple different places, not just from bodybuilding. So to answer your question, I mean, I'll use an example of like, say I'm 8 weeks out from a show right now, and I go to the grocery store and I'm not wearing a sweatshirt, or say I'm wearing shorts. Like it's immediately obvious that I not just work out, but I'm serious about this. And I get comments all the time. Even if I'm wearing a sweatshirt, some guy the other day was like, holy shit, your shoulders. I was like, I'm wearing an XL sweatshirt, dude. What are you talking about? But he could tell that there was some meat here. But I immediately say, and it's because I have a lot of pride, but also to remind people, like, I'm not an average gym goer. Like, I don't want you to think like, oh, as a woman, I lift heavy, I'm going to look like that. No, don't worry. You couldn't if you tried. Like, it's a lot of work. So I immediately tell people I'm a professional athlete. I'm a professional bodybuilder. And then people want to know more. Usually they're like, holy crap, like, tell me more about that. And I come at it from a place of like, I want to educate you I'm just a regular person too. I run to the grocery store, I get my food, I walk my dog, like, I work my ass off to make money to pay for this. So if people like want to know more, I tell them a ton about it, but it's more from, to your point, like trying to educate people, not necessarily like toot my own horn, but tell people like it's taken me people are like, how many hours do you spend in the gym? I'm like, well, it's not so much about the hours I spend in the gym, it's what I do with the other 20 hours of the day. Like I don't eat out. I cook all my own food. Even in the off season, I cook all my own food. I do cardio 5 days a week. I didn't have an off day my entire off season. There was no like, today's Monday, I'm getting back to it. Like it's a lifestyle. And so I always explain to people, like, you could be a bodybuilder and then you could be a competitive bodybuilder. The same way I could be a CrossFitter and be a competitive CrossFitter, And then if people really don't know anything about bodybuilding, sometimes, like, I have some older neighbors. I just moved into my place here back in December, and they think powerlifting. They don't think bodybuilding. So they're like, oh, you get on stage and you like lift heavy stuff. And I'm like, actually, it's powerlifting, but I love that. I'm the one on stage that's like in a bikini and I'm like flexing and posing. And they're like, oh, I know that. And then they ask some questions. And if they don't ask questions, they're not interested, But you kind of just have to meet people where they are. And if it's something that they're interested in learning about, I just speak to them on like the most basic level about it and just kind of gauge if they're interested in learning more about it. But I mean, listen, if someone doesn't want to know anything about it, if they have like a negative opinion on it, I'm not here to change everyone's opinions. I don't care. I could care less about your opinion.